Today, we are working through some really interesting material. But I want to start with yesterday evening, where the assembly of the Synod ended and met Pope Francis outdoors in the Vatican Square around the sculpture Angels Unaware. It's a boat with refugees on it, and you see how beautiful the imagery is in copper. And around there, we did an evening prayer, praying for the migrants and the refugees amongst us. And the prayer was really a very moving moment, because the Synod gathered here in St. Peter's Square and really around the Holy Father, around this beautiful sculpture. And what did we pray for? Well, he used the text of Luke 10, the Good Samaritan, and he says this was the key for Fratelli Tutti, his encyclical, but it's also the key to move a world from war to peace. And that Good Samaritan who met the stranger and not only stopped, bandaged, put him on his mount, carried him, and paid. He reminds us, and he says, one thing not in the text, we have to make the road safer for everyone, So as we enter today now into the material of our day, we started off with how have we been as a synodal church? What was the experience like from 2021 when we started this journey? Then we went to the whole experience of communion. Then we went to co-responsibility and mission. And now we're dealing with participation. And this is the really difficult, or I would say the very technical part. And I want to recall to you, and you'll see it up on your screen, that this has 5 parts. The first part, how can we renew the service of authority and the exercise of responsibility in a missionary synodal church? The second part, how can we develop discernment practices and the decision-making processes in an authentically synodal manner with respect to protagonism of the Spirit, making the Spirit the protagonist in the whole process? Third, what structures can be developed to strengthen a missionary synodal church? Fourth, how can we give structure to instances of synodality and collegiality that involve groupings of local churches? And then the fifth, how can the institution of synod be strengthened so as to be an expression of episcopal collegiality within an all synodal church? These are deep questions. And the question is asking or begging another question. How can we move synodality from an event to a process to a new way of being church? And as we listened to this section around our tables and in general, what we heard was a call for the deepening of the synodality structures that already exist. Our parish councils, our diocesan councils, our finance council. How can these become more synodal? What does that mean? Well, how do we change the way that we meet in these synodal spaces so that discernment of the Spirit, conversation in the Spirit, becomes the way in which we do the business of church? We're moving from talking about the experience we had at home to looking at communion participation or communion mission co-responsibility, to how do we make this experience that we've shared for this month embedded in all dimensions of church, including the Episcopal Conference of Bishops. Keep praying for us. We're talking about a revolution in church, where we start seeing church now from very new lens, very new eyes, and new expectations. Keep praying. Thank you.